If you guys have anything you want to say about doing pressure reliefs, or maybe something I miss, leave a comment down below in the comments so that I can read it and I will reply, and maybe you can help somebody out. Pressure reliefs are really important to do in order to try and prevent from getting pressure sores. The types of pressure reliefs you do depend on your level of injury, the wheelchair that you use, as well as the function that you have in your arms and shoulders. The purpose of doing pressure reliefs is not really to relieve all the pressure that is being applied, but is pretty much to change where the pressure is being applied. For every 15 to 30 minutes of being in a wheelchair, you should do these pressure releases for 30 to 90 seconds. There are four main ways to do pressure reliefs in a manual chair, and the first way is to lock your brakes, loosen your seatbelt if you have one on, and then if you have enough strength, grab onto your push rims or tires and push down and try and lift yourself up. And you want to be cautious of spasms, because normally they can happen, or at least they do for me. And this is probably how I do pressure reliefs most often. So what you want to do is put each hand on a push rim or tire and get kind of your elbows next to these backrests / handles back here, and you just want to push down and try and go straight up and hold it there as long as possible. Now sometimes whenever I do pressure reliefs like this, I do get a little bit lightheaded, and I believe that is because my blood is going to my arms, because my arms are being used pretty heavily. The second way to do pressure reliefs in a manual chair, which is probably the most common way, is to first off get this armrest out of the way, and you want to hold on to either the push rim or the other armrest that is on the wheelchair, and use this arm to go ahead and put on your push rim or tire and lean over like this as far as you can, and this will relieve pressure on one side, and you want to hold this for probably 30 to 90 seconds. Sometimes getting back up is a little bit harder, so if you don't have armrests, you might have to use this push rim, and if you have trouble with that, you can go ahead and use this handle back here and try and get yourself back up. If you do pressure reliefs like this, it will only relieve pressure from one side of the butt, so you will also have to do it for 30 or 90 seconds on the other side of your butt cheek. Once again, if you have an armrest, you can use that, or if you have a push rim, you can use that. But my probably favorite way to do it is to just hook my arm under this handle and pull myself back up. If you guys want to practice doing this, or you do not have the ability to do it unassisted, you can go ahead and lean up against a surface such as a table. The third way to do a pressure relief in a manual chair is to put one leg over the knee of the other one, and for me this is a little bit difficult, but basically just pull it up as much as possible, and you might have to use your armrest as a to get some leverage, and put your other arm under your ankle and try and get it over the other side, which is a little bit tricky for me, but you can get it with a little bit of time and practice. And basically what you want is the bend of one leg kind of on top of the knee of the other one, and lean over to where that leg is pointing. So this will relieve pressure from my right butt cheek, and I can kind of push on this here, or this handle back here, to try and get more pressure off. Now this one is the same as the last one, as in you will have to do it twice to get pressure off of both sides of your butt, and once again lean over and go like this to relieve pressure even more. The next way to do a pressure relief in a manual chair is kind of the same as the last one, where you cross your legs, but this time you are just going to bend it and put it over your knee. So I will show you right here. So you want to go like this and keep it like that. And then you can lean over this way to relieve more pressure. And of course you'll have to do it on the other side to relieve pressure from the other side of your butt. And I don't prefer doing this mainly because you have to do it twice, once for each side. Also, I broke my femur, so this leg doesn't want to bend very well, which makes it really hard to get over my leg. The final way to do a pressure release is to just lean forward, which isn't going to give you as much pressure relief as the other options to do pressure releases. However, it still does work. So you can either put your arms right here on the metal part of the wheelchair and lean forward, or you can put your arms close to your knees and lean forward. Or what I like to do is kind of grab onto my push rims and I kind of lift myself up as I am leaning forward, and that does work. But like I said, it probably won't relieve as much pressure as the other options. Most power wheelchairs have a tilt feature, which you are seeing here, as well as a recline feature. Elevating the leg rests can also help in pressure relief, but if you combine all three of these, you will get the most benefit. When doing these types of pressure reliefs in a power chair, you want to make sure you are on level ground, and also you want to be careful of spasms, because I know I have spasms when I do this. You can also do pressure reliefs in a power chair by the same way we did in a manual chair. So first off, you want to loosen your seatbelt, and then you want to put one hand on the armrest, and I normally use one elbow on the armrest as well because I get more force rather than pushing with both hands like this. So what you want to do is put one hand here, put the other elbow here, and lean forward and kind of push up, and you want to hold it for as long as possible. Now I usually do it like this once, and then I will switch hands and do it like this, and do this for as long as I can as well. I do one pressure release like this, and then I do one pressure release like this, because I found that if I just do it with one side like this, and don't do it like this after that, I don't actually get my whole bottom off of the chair.